Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Washoe County District Board of Health meeting for Thursday, October the 24th. We're going to call the meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is a roll call and determine quorum.
Dr. Novak?
Here.
Mike Brown?
Here.
Oscar Delgado is absent. Christopher Dare?
Here.
Dr. Danko is absent. Marsha Burke-Bigler is absent. Tom Young?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Good. Thank you very much. Next thing is Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Anaway, would you like to start us off?
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Moving along, is there any public comment?
Not at this time, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay. Has everybody has a chance to look over the agenda? Is there anything that need changed or added?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, first and second, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, carries. Moving on, Mr. Health Officer, recognitions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to begin with years of service, and Anna Gonzalez is not able to attend today, but I want to congratulate her and thank her for her 20 years of service to the Health District. She's in community and clinical health services. And then it's also my pleasure to recognize Ms. Laura Rogers for her 15 years of service. Congratulations, and stick around, Laura. We'll take some pictures.
Oh, just stick around.
We have a promotion to announce. Wesley Rubio. Wes Rubio has been promoted from Senior Environmental Health Specialist to Environmental Health Specialist Supervisor. So congratulations to Wes. He's on vacation
Boy, must be
this
nice.
week. So
Is that how that works?
I think he's celebrating his promotion, perhaps. And we have a couple of new hires, and I'd like to ask Dr. Todd if he could please introduce Danica Williams.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members. Randall Todd for the record. It's my pleasure to introduce Danica Williams. Danica is a new epidemiologist with our CD program. I've known Danica for a long time. She was actually a student of mine years ago in epidemiology over at UNR and was a very good student. And she's worked for the State Health I want to say State Health Division, but it's actually the Division of Public and Behavioral Health.
Yep.
I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Anyway, so she's had a number of different positions during her tenure there, but we're very pleased to have her join our communicable disease staff here as an epidemiologist.
Good. Thank you. Welcome.
And then if I could please have Lisa Lotritz introduce Alexandria Valesco.
Hi, Lisa Lotritz, Division Director for Community and Clinical Health Services for the record. This is Alex Velasco. She's our new public health nurse in the sexual health program. She'll be a disease intervention specialist. She comes to us from Northern Nevada Medical Center, where she was there for 3 years on med-surg. She's an Orvis School of Nursing graduate, and she's bilingual, which we're really excited about. And she is very busy with her 9-month-old baby boy who was born on Christmas. And we're glad she's joined us.
It just gets worse. They grow up. Thank you.
Then I also wanted to let the board know that Heather Homestead has had a voluntary reassignment from our EPI program, where she was an epidemiologist. She's moved over to CCHS, where she is now serving as a public health investigator too. Okay. And then we also have Kelly Parsons and recognized for her receipt of 10 Shining Stars. So congratulations to Kelly. She's an OA2 in air quality, so she's busy womaning the counter over there, so couldn't attend the meeting today, but great feedback from customers on the service that she's providing. And that brings the total number of Shining Star recognitions for Health District employees since the program started in November of 2017 to 527 Shining Stars. So I believe we're leading any of the departments here at the county. So
Terrific.
that concludes our recognitions. So why don't we do some pictures? And let's see if I could start. Let's start with Laura Rogers. And Scott, could you do a picture?
You start when you were 15.
Right. And I understand everybody's happy I get to do this.
There's a certificate, and there's a 15-year pin for you.
Hardware. Okay.
And the gentleman taking the picture is Scott Oxford, and he's our new communications program.
Do we have one more?
Turn your certificate around, Laura.
Oh.
Thanks.
Scott's supposed to
You're in that.
Scott.
You can send them out email.
All right, here we go. 3, 2.
Thank you.
Thank you. We didn't get a picture of you that.
Oh, yeah, is that right?
Yeah, true.
We won't own Scott, he wasn't able to attend.
Yes, we tricked him. He thought he was taking pictures.
He's busy with his new baby.
And I got some here and she's so cute.
I gotta have a picture with the person emailing me.
Almost every single day, right?
Yeah, love the information.
Good to see you.
You getting any sleep at all?
There's another one of the sweet pea ones. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And one more just in case somebody quit. 1, 2, 3, go. Very good. All right, thank you.
Give us the word.
And Danica, Dr. Todd, would you like to come down and join us?
Well,
You still gonna come on Friday morning? Sure.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. And one more. A little bigger, 1, 2, 3, go. There we go. Thank you very much.
Alex and Lisa, do you want to join the picture?
Please.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. And more. Go. Very good.
Good.
Thank you.
That was fairly painless.
Is that everyone?
Put the can in there.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Hi.
There's a doorstop back there. Well, thank you, everybody. Got a good start on another 500 stars, so. Moving on to the consent agenda. Is there anybody that has anything we want to pull for this or discuss later? If not, I'll take a motion to accept the agenda.
I'll move to approve consent items A through E.
Good, thank you. And second? Second. Chief Brown, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Okay, item 7, the public hearing to discuss and possible adoption of the proposed revisions to the District Board of Health regulations governing air quality and management. Mr. Wolf, are you, Mr. Anaway, you gonna do it? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and open the public hearing on this. First thing will be our staff report.
Mike Wolf, for the record, I'm Permitting and Enforcement Branch Chief for Washoe County Air Quality. I'd like to present our staff report on our proposed regulation change for the odorous emissions regulation. As I said last month, we're proposing modifying the regulation to allow us to use an olfactometer in our compliance determinations on whether or not odors are a nuisance. So if there are any questions from the board at this time, I know we had a lot of questions last month. So if there's any additional questions, I'm more than happy to take them.
Okay, no questions. Is there any public questions or comments? Hearing none, let's move on.
I'd like to make one more comment if I
Sure,
could, Mr.
please.
Chair. In adopting the regulation, I noticed, unfortunately, a typo. So the regulation you have, Section E, Part 4, there is A, B, and B. That would need to be changed to C before we formally take the regulation in.
Laura, did you get that?
We've all looked at it, and we all missed it.
Yeah, kind of. Thank you very much. Hearing no public comment, is there anything from the board to discuss? If not, we'll take a motion.
Move to adopt the proposed revisions to the District Board of Health regulations governing air quality management, section 040.055, and with the suggested changes that were mentioned by the presenter.
Thank you.
Second.
Second. First, second, any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, and we will go ahead and close the public hearing. Thank you
you.
very much. Love that. Okay. Number 8, Mr. Dowell.
Mr. Dow and Company.
The good part.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, board, members of the board. My name is Dean Dow. I'm President and CEO of RIMSA and CareFlight. For the record, you all have received copies of our August compliance report for your review, and I'm available for any questions.
Any questions? Comments? Hearing none. Take a motion.
Move to accept the report from RIMSA.
First, Mr. Dyer.
Second?
Chief Brown, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good, thank you. Nice
Thank you.
report.
Thanks.
Now we get down to the good stuff.
Good afternoon, Alexia Jobson, Public Affairs Manager for REMSA, for the record. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You have for your review the Public Relations Report for September, but today I'll give you an update on a couple of other current things happening. Last month, I mentioned that REMSA, in partnership with the Washoe County Health District, was going to offer free flu shots to homebound citizens in Washoe County, and I'm pleased to report that we've had a very positive response to this program, and we've administered more than 80 shots. The program received attention from all 3 local television networks, as well as on Spanish language television and on news radio. We're very happy to have offered this program to our community, and we anticipate providing this service again next year around the same time. Also, earlier this month, REMSA opened up Trick or Treat Transport, a program that would enable a child to go trick-or-treating that needs medical support in order to do so. One of REMSA's ILS crews will transport the child and their family on Halloween night until their bag is full. And we've had great interest from the community, and we just selected a child and family yesterday to participate, and so we're working on coordinating the transport now. I'm available to answer any questions you may have about our public relations report.
Good. Go
wanna say
ahead.
something. I think I like that idea. That's pretty cool to think we get to do that, and that's neat to get out there. I just want to say, we also had the opportunity with our Rotary group to go in and do a tour, just relations, and our people were very excited about it. Your staff did fantastic, and, hopefully just more and more people get to understand what you guys do, and then also, maybe someone will be interested in being a part of it, but it was awesome.
Good, thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to visit us.
Any other comments, questions? Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're down to now item number 9. And this has to do with a subaward from the state of Nevada Health and Human Services for the period of November 1st through June 30th, 2021. And the amount is not to exceed $495,102. It does not require a match. We need to approve this separately just because of the size of amount. The state wants a quick turnaround on this, except they just didn't quite get the paperwork to us. So we're going to go ahead and deal with this. On this, since we've all have it, do you want to go ahead and make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to move forward with this, allowing the district health officer to sign the paperwork as it comes in at a future time.
Good. Second?
Second.
Second? Good, it's been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. I think that will pretty well cover us then.
Mr. Chair, I'll just add that receipt of the subaward will be sent to DA for approval, and then the district health officer will be signing it upon
Good,
approval
no,
of the DA.
it's in here, the written one.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't read it out
Oh, that's
completely.
okay, I just want to clarify
No,
for the
I
record.
definitely
Thank
do
you.
that. Thank you very much. Okay, that's passed. Okay, review and approval of District Health Department's annual review. And this comes down to it, we have sent out a survey through Lori Griffin, and we have the results back of all the surveys. And this was sent out to, not only to the board, but different department heads and also people in the community that have to do with Mr. Dick and his performance. So we all have this. It came out very positive. Do we have any discussion? Do we
I'd
have
like
a
to.
motion?
Well, I'd like to say something.
Okay, go right ahead.
I want to say we have definitely are a growing community, and I want to say that, Kevin, you've done a fantastic job, kind of, I'd say just going through the different storms that come our way. We have different things that are happening, continue. And I found that you are very open to conversation and very much willing to work and figure out how to make things happen and continue to do so. And I'd like to just, I know I said some of that stuff in what I said here, but officially I just want to say, good job.
Thank you. Very good. Uh,
And I make a motion if you want.
Yeah, let's
Sure.
make a motion.
I move to accept the evaluation, annual performance evaluation results.
Good.
Second?
Second, we got a first and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody opposed.
All right. Wow. If I could just.
Amazing.
If I could just comment?
Sure.
On that? Well, one,
Now you can comment.
One, I wanted to thank the board for the positive comments that you provided, but also just wanted to take the opportunity to recognize the fantastic staff of the health district that are really the ones that allow me to look good and for us to accomplish so much during the year. So thank you very much to the health district staff.
Well, thank you. We appreciate everything you do for us, and up there steering the ship is not always the most popular job to have in town, but we've had a heck of a good year. We are now an accredited health board that he is steering, so there, okay. Item number 11, we're going to go through the departments. And Mr. Inouye, Air Quality Management.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the board. For the record, Daniel Inouye, Acting Director for Air Quality Management. For the last few months, I've been giving you verbal updates on the progress of our Reno 4 monitoring station. I wanted to share some pictures with you. So our new site will be relocated from downtown Reno to Libby Booth Elementary School. This is what the school looks like as far as the school colors go. This is what our shelter is going to be looking like. So we're going to match the paint color and pattern scheme with the rest of the school, so it will just blend in right there. Quick Space is doing the construction work for the monitoring station. It is painted. And you can't see it here, but the deck, or the top is prepped for a Trex decking and railing. So we will be installing that shortly after it's delivered to the site. The interior looked like this last week. It has been wired with the electrical and covered up. So that's what the inside looks like. To give you some additional timelines related to this, we have a November 6th date scheduled for delivery to Libby Booth. That's on a Wednesday. It's an early release day, so we'll be dropping it off after school is excused for the day. The following Thursday or Friday, we plan to complete the electrical hookup and as well as the HVAC. And then after that, for the next 6 weeks through the end of the calendar year, we'll be installing and calibrating the analyzers that go into the shelter. All of that's in preparation for a January 1st beginning of shutdown of our downtown Reno site, and we hope to be off the City of Reno property for the downtown Reno site by February 1st. With that, if you have any questions related to this or anything else in the director's report, very happy to answer those.
Good. Questions?
I have something to add, just in air quality. One of the things that we wanted to make sure you know, there's a study coming back regarding the lands bill that's going on. It's going to show the geothermal study. So Ed Lawson's kind of helping lead that, but it's a countywide thing. And I think it will prove to show some of what we're trying to do over there is going to help with some of our sitting of cars, because some of what would happen is there would be a freeway entrance coming from 80. So I just encourage you to look for that, and I'll help get more information to you. But it is something that I'd like to brought back and us talk about and possibly see where we support it. I know we have, it just has to do with air quality, so I bring it up now, but something to talk about. So something for you to look at.
That's something we can future agendize.
Total.
After it's up and operational.
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
I just have a question. If indeed we're relocating a station like this too from a, quote, the urban center to a more residential center and things too, how does that affect, I mean, how close are affecting various emissions and things by moving it to a residential area?
Right. The Environmental Protection Agency has very strict siting requirements. What we have established there in downtown Reno, we feel matches up overall with the ambient air quality. We have been working closely with the Environmental Protection Agency to pre-approve basically the relocation of this site, and everything has indicated that it will be a comparable site. So getting into the weeds a little bit, we will be able to keep the same ID number, which means that we will be able to continue the history of air monitoring at that specific location.
Oh, good.
Chair, real quick, one more thing. We talked about when we were doing this before, of you guys doing some kind of open house with it, because there's kids and the teaching of that. And so is there a date that you're going to get to us that we can potentially, because we talked about the health board, us coming out and celebrating and thanking the principal and stuff like that?
We don't have a specific date set for that. We're concentrating on getting our instrumentation up and running and shutting down the other side, but I would expect in early 2020 that we could have a celebration for
That'd
this
be
new
great.
site.
I think it'd be good on all ends for us to do that. Thanks.
And Mr. Dare, in addition, that we are working with the school principal to include this monitoring station as part of their curriculum as well.
That's the part I'm kind of excited about, yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Enaway? Miss Lisa?
Always have to bring this down. Lisa Lottritz, Division Director for Community and Clinical Health Services, for the record. I just wanted to add to my report that the immunization team did over more than 100, and an additional 100 at our flu pod on October 16th. We had over 300 people immunized for flu at the Family Health Festival. So I believe it was 321 was the final number. So it was great that we exceeded our number from last year. And we've had a total of 6 flu clinics this month. Yesterday they did the Discovery Children's Museum, and they did over 60 there yesterday. And we're had our first school-located vaccine clinic earlier this week, and we'll be doing more of those throughout the season. and I'm happy to answer any questions regarding my report.
You good? Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, Environmental Health Services. Ms. Albee. Uh-oh, bringing reinforcements?
I have reinforcements. It's all good, though. So for the record, Charlene Albee, Division Director, Environmental Health Services. Last week, Washoe County had their celebration of the awards of their, they call them the Washoe County Impact Awards. And it really is their way of celebrating the efforts of the staff of Washoe County and the way they relate to the public. One of the awards that they have identified is the Communication Award. And I'm happy to announce that the Environmental Health Services was awarded the Washoe County Impact Award for Communication for the Washoe Eats app with its integration into Yelp. So this is the first impact award that the health district has received, so we're pretty proud of it. And so I had the group come in today to show you the award. This is Teresa Long, Mike Toohey, who were instrumental in development of the app, and also Amber English, who is the supervisor of the food safety program, who the three of them have put this together. We also had 2 staff members from tech services that helped with the programming on it, but it was a pretty big deal.
It is a big deal.
So, and I'm very proud of them, so.
Congratulations, you guys. Thank you. Ms. Warren, can you take a picture? Good.
Should we get down in the?
Sure.
Oh, well. Sure.
We're gonna have to squinch.
We're going to have to switch, okay.
Squinching it up.
Put a chain around the front of your neck, kind of like you do.
Okay, very good, and the 1, and the 2. So there's 1. And 1 more. There you go. Very good.
Thank you.
Good job, keep up the work.
Good work, guys. Thanks. Good job.
It was awesome, like it was just all happening. Thanks, guys. So I don't have anything else to offer, but I'm more than happy to answer any questions anybody might have.
Any questions? Good, moving right along. Thank you very much. And Dr. Todd, epidemiology. We got 7 minutes to finish this.
Nice.
Don't want to rush you, but
Hello again, Randall Todd for the record. So the main thing that I have to update you on today is our outbreak of pertussis, also known as whooping cough. This is among students down at the Bishop Minogue High School. And we have 4 cases there right now. We are under continuing surveillance to see if they develop any more. The school voluntarily decided to close because they thought that might help to interrupt any further spread, and we did not discourage them from doing that. They have a fairly high rate of vaccination among their student body, which is good news. However, the bad news is this is a vaccine that doesn't last all that long. So most of these students would have gotten their last vaccine in probably the 7th grade. And usually it doesn't, after you get past about 4 years from that vaccination, you don't have a lot of protection left. And so, 7 and 4 would be 11. So by the time they get to be, juniors in high school, and certainly by the time they're seniors, there's not a lot of protection left there. So that's sort of the bad news. And so as I said, we have 4 students who have been diagnosed with this disease, and we are continuing surveillance. Now, we did allow them to have some students who were participating in some state final sports activities to go ahead and participate, but the caveat was that they had to be vaccinated and they had to be on prophylactic medication so that they wouldn't come down with this and spread it to other people. So that's basically what's going on. We've been getting good cooperation from the school officials, and we hope that it is arrested at this one school and that we don't see it break out into other schools or other facilities. Be happy to entertain any questions you might have.
I don't know how it makes sense it would only be at one school. Maybe something I don't understand. I know we found it there, but part of that, private schools tend to sometimes have the ability to pay attention to their populace a little differently. So my concern would be, well, you know my concern, at large, do we just wait and see? And then if that's the case, what's the plan or what?
Yeah, well, we had a meeting on Tuesday, I think it was, my staff with the head of student health from the Washoe County School District, and so we had some discussion about this. This wasn't why we had the meeting, but it just was sort of fortuitous that it happened at this time. So we had some discussion with the public school health staff about what's going on, and they claim that they have had no reports of cases. Now, one of the things to keep in mind, this is a disease which can last a fairly long period of time. So you might spend the first 2 weeks with what seems to just be a really bad cold. You're having those kinds of symptoms. After that, then it goes into the severe coughing stage. And classically, you cough so hard that you run out of air. And so when you finally stop coughing, you have a big, inspiration of air, which comes off as a whoop, hence the name whooping cough. That is less common among older case patients. And so it's entirely possible that there is some pertussis going around in other venues, but that we just have not been made aware of it.
Oh, thank you.
Very good.
No, I was curious, so were these 4 students determined to be vaccinated in 7th grade? And this is just that lack of time. And my second question is, if indeed this vaccine does not seem to have much longevity, I just haven't seen a lot of push to get people on biannual vaccination schemes or whatever and things too. Why is that the case?
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that. It puzzles me as well. Now, they do recommend for pregnant women that they get a pertussis vaccine if they get pregnant, and then they get pregnant again, that they get another pertussis vaccine. But for the rest of us, that is not a recommendation. I think in part because assuming that you make it through childhood and adolescence, that, yes, you may get pertussis, but it's not going to be that significant of an illness for you. Now, the caveats to that are if you have young children back at home, you may expose them, or if you have immunocompromised people in your home, you may expose them. So it is somewhat problematic, but nationally, the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices has yet to recommend boosters beyond the one at the 7th grade level. So.
I have one final question for me. So where might this come from? It didn't all of a sudden creep out of a locker or something. Maybe it did because they're kind of gross. But
yeah.
Where does something like that come from? Like, could someone travel and bring it in? That's the idea that we think?
It could be. We'll probably never know.
Okay.
But yeah, it is a concerning illness, and one that we do like to jump on and try to quash it as quickly as we can.
Thank you, that's all.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yep.
Start at 8 or 8:30. Breakfast at 8. Well, 8:30.
Okay, Mr. Health Officer, your turn.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just wanted to highlight a couple of things. We had a good Regional Behavioral Health Forum that we held here the beginning of the month. And with through Truckee Meadows Healthy Communities, had about 100 people that participated with that. We had our meeting of the Washoe Regional Behavioral Health Policy Board, and Senator Ratty was elected to chair our board. And I think she's going to do a good job of getting us organized, and hopefully we'll have another successful BDR. We also discussed the role of our regional policy board in being briefed by the state Division of Public and Behavioral Health regarding where they're headed on behavioral health, to get our input in their direction, which is one of the things that's outlined in the statute as a role of the board. So we think that if we can achieve more information and communication from the state and more consideration of what on the ground level locally we believe is needed, that would provide some improvement. And then also wanted to, on the media end of things, point out the great work that our communications manager, Mr. Oxerard, is doing in providing the regular updates to the board on media coverage related to the health district or public health topics. And also, we met yesterday, the division directors and some staff and I, with Commander Matt Johns, who's the Region 9 Administrator for the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Health. So he's the highest ranking public health official in Region 9, which is California, Arizona, Hawaii, Nevada, and the Trust Territories. And it was great that he took the time to stop in and meet with us, and we had a great discussion. And I think he may have some opportunities for us to hook up with both his office and other federal agencies on some initiatives here. So that concludes my report.
Good. Thank you. Nice to be certified. Okay. Board comments. Anything you want to put on agenda or anything we need to?
I would. I'd like to, like I said, I think that report for the geothermal is supposed to be done in about 2 weeks from what I heard. It might be neat to get it back on ours, just so we can visit and look at what that looks like in the sense of ozone and how that affects things. And because I know we've been talking a lot about that, but it is something there's a couple things going on that I think will go hand in hand, and this study, I think, does that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good, thank you. Anything else? Okay, I do want to remind the board that we do have our annual strategic planning retreat on November the 7th, 8 o'clock in the morning here in the building, right?
It's in our conference rooms, A and B,
Okay.
over at the Health District.
And we will start promptly at 8:30. 8 o'clock is for breakfast and people that need to get in. I think that's it. I don't have anything else. Is there any public comment? Good, moving right along. I want to move for adjournment, and we're 1 minute over the record. Darn. We're done. Thanks, all.